The Jack Benny Program. Ladies and gentlemen, for over 20 years, I've been introducing the star of our show. And you'd think after all this time, I'd run out of nice things to say about him. Well, I have. So here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. And, Don, come here a minute, will you, please?
Yes, Jack.
Don, I didn't think that you gave me a very nice introduction.
Well, I'm sorry, Jack, but after all these years, I just couldn't think of anything new.
You couldn't, eh? Well, I'm sure that if I were introducing you, I wouldn't have that trouble.
Oh, yes, you would, Jack. You've been saying the same thing about me for years. I'll bet you can't say anything I haven't heard before.
Oh, yes, I can.
What?
You're fired. And now,
wait a minute, Jack. Wait a minute. Before you can fire me, you've got to spend 6 weeks in Reno.
Oh, that's right. Forgot by mistake, I hired a divorce lawyer to make out his contract. Anyway, Don, you've been with me for 20 years, for better or for worse, and I hope that we'll be together for another...
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For my first number, I'd like to sing a song that...
Dennis, what's the matter with you? You're not supposed to be out here this soon.
I'm not?
No, and if you'd have been to any of the rehearsals, you would have known that. Now, where were you?
Well, I had a chance to get away for a few days, so I went fishing on Lake Mead.
Went fishing while we were rehearsing.
Did you have any luck, Dennis?
Well, I sure did, Don. I caught 4 trout, 3 perch, 5 bass, and a high-button shoe. A high-button shoe. Yeah, but it was too small, and I had to throw it back.
Fine, he caught a shoe.
You should have seen the hip boot that got away.
Imagine him fishing while we're rehearsing.
Well, I don't blame him, Jack. I wish I could get away and do a little fishing. What a thrill it is to catch a silvery rainbow trout. One of nature's loveliest creations. What a sight it is as it breaks the water in a shimmering shower of sparkling drops. The sunlight reflecting its iridescent beauty.
Look how he describes the fish. Me, he can't say anything nice about it. Now, look, kid.
How long did you stay at Lake Mead, Dennis?
Oh, we were up there the whole week, but I spent all my time on the boat.
Whole week on a boat?
Avast day, you land lubbers! Larboard to starboard and drop the anchor!
Dennis.
We'll shiver the timbers and man the pumps, and we'll all drown like rats!
Dennis, please.
Batten down the hatches and pulling down the poop deck!
Dennis, will you stop?
Mr. Christian, stow that talk and I'm swinging from the highest yardarm in the British fleet!
Oh.
Let the men mutiny, my hearty, let them mutiny, but don't worry, this ship may pitch and rock and toss, but I'll sail it through this hurricane or...
What's the matter, Dennis?
I'm seasick.
Good. All right, Popeye, as long as you got here so early, go into your song.
Aye, aye, sir. Sinner man, where you gonna run to, sinner man? Where you gonna run to, sinner man? Where you gonna run to all on that day? Well, I'll run to the sea, sea, won't you hide me? Run to the sea, sea, won't you hide me? Run to the sea, sea, won't you hide me? All on that day. The Lord said, Cinnamon, the sea'll be a-boilin'. The Lord said, Cinnamon, the sea'll be a-boilin'. The Lord said, Cinnamon, the sea'll be a-boilin'. All on that day. Oh, Lord, Lord, won't you hide me, Lord, Lord? Won't you hide me, Lord, Lord? Won't you hide me all on that day? The Lord said, Cinnamon, you should have been a-praying. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you should have been a-praying. Cinnamon, you should have been a-praying all on that day. Oh, Lord, Lord, look at me praying, Lord, Lord. Look at me praying, Lord, Lord. Look at me praying now. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you prayed too late. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you prayed too late. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you prayed too late. All on that day. Well, then, Satan, Satan, won't you hide me? Satan, Satan, won't you hide me? Satan, Satan, won't you hide me? All on that day. Satan said, Cinnamon, come right in. Satan said, Cinnamon, come right in. Satan said, Cinnamon, come right in.
Very, very good.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Benny. Say, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. On your way home, could you drop me off at the hospital on Beverly Boulevard? I want to visit my father.
Dennis, I didn't know your father was in the hospital.
Oh, he's feeling much more comfortable now. After 6 months, they finally took the cast off his foot.
A cast for 6 months? What was wrong with his foot?
Nothing. He stepped into a bucket of cement.
Dennis, look at, I can understand your father stepping into a bucket of cement. I can almost understand he's standing there and letting the cement dry. But why in the world would he keep it on his foot for 6 months?
My mother made him.
What?
When he stayed out late at night, he couldn't tiptoe into the house.
Dennis, I'd love to continue with this brilliant conversation, but if you don't mind, I've got a show to do.
Oh, but you haven't told me yet whether you take me to the hospital.
Look, if I'm going home after the show, I'll drop you off.
If you don't want to take me, you don't have to.
That kid drives me nuts. Now, the reason I couldn't make it definite is because I never know where I'm going after a program. Now, I usually plan on going right home. But I never seem to get there. You know, something always happens. Like, well, for instance, let me show you what happened after my last show. Come in.
Clara, did you hear that? Come in. Clara, we've got to control our emotions.
Yes, we don't want him to know how we feel about him.
You're right. We'll have a better chance if we play hard to get.
We've played so hard to get, nobody's gotten us.
Yes?
I don't know whether you remember us, but we're the president and secretary of the Jack Benny Fan Club.
Pasadena chapter.
Oh, yes, of course. The Jack Benny Fan Club. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, at our last club meeting, we were appointed to come here and ask you to be our guest of honor.
Tonight at 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, really, but I've been working so terribly hard, and I'm kind of tired, and I don't think I'll be able to make it.
Oh, that's a shame. We wanted you to play your violin.
Did you say 8 o'clock?
632 Orange Grove Avenue, Pasadena.
Well, I'll be there.
Clara, did you hear that? He'll be there. He'll be there.
When do we tell the members this? Oh, we've got to get the message to Pasadena right away. Shall we take a bus or a taxi?
Well, the way I feel right now, just tie the message to my leg and I'll fly there.
Well, Mr. Benny, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, girls. I better call Rochester, tell him I won't be home for dinner.
Yes, Mr. Benny.
Oh, operator, will you please get me my home in Beverly Hills?
Mr. Benny's residence?
Look, I called to tell you that I won't be home for dinner.
What time shall I expect you?
I don't know. I'm going to Pasadena.
Pasadena? Oh, then you ought to be home by 9.
Why?
It closes at 8.
Don't be funny.
Oh, but boss.
Look, I haven't got time to talk any longer. I got to go to my fan club. Goodbye.
Calm down now, girls. Now, girls, I can understand your display of enthusiasm. But after all, this is the Jack Benny Fan Club, and we have a motion before the House. And now, before we vote, will the secretary please read the motion?
A motion has been made and seconded that Lillian be appointed as chairman of a committee to convince the post office department to put Jack Benny's picture on a 6-cent stamp.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Lola?
I'm all for getting Mr. Benny's picture on the stamps, but I don't think Lillian should be the head of the committee.
Why not?
She was in charge of the committee to get his head carved on Mount Rushmore. And what did they end up with? Washington, Lincoln, and Jefferson.
Look, I did the best I could. And if you think that it's girls, we'll have no personal arguments. We all have one goal, so let's unite and push forward. I know we failed on Mount Rushmore, and our committee for Benny on the Penny didn't do too well. But I feel if we work together, we can push this stamp project to a successful conclusion.
My goodness, has the meeting started already?
I'm sorry. You can't sit there.
Why not?
I'm saving it for my mother.
We've all heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Then the motion has passed. Now, our guest of honor should be here very soon. However, before he arrives, I understand we have a report from the Transportation Committee.
Yes, Madam Chairman. I'd like to report that the bus will be here at 8:30 Thursday morning. I missed the last meeting. What's the bus for?
On Thursday morning, we're going to make our annual trip to Grauman's Chinese Theater, where each of us will take a turn standing in Jack Benny's footprint. Are there any questions?
Yes. Last year, I almost caught pneumonia standing on that cold cement. This year, would it be all right if I kept my stockings on?
Well, that's up to you. There comes a time in everyone's life where he has to choose between a thrill and sniffles. Now to get to the details of our trip.
Oh, it's here!
All right, everybody, stand up. Now remember, just the way we've rehearsed it all week. Will the sergeant at arms open the door?
How do you do? I'm Jack Benny.
I know. Won't you come?
girls. Ready? Sing.
5 foot 9, so divine, he's our little Valentine. Everybody loves our Jack. Eyes of blue, his chicken, chicken, chicken. Everybody loves our
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so nice.
Oh, Mr. Benny, if you please, this is the chair of honor.
Oh.
Ethel McMurmack has been selected to give a welcoming speech. Ethel?
Girls, members of the Jack Benny Fan Club, Pasadena chapter, honored guests. And furthermore, oh dear, I'm so excited. Tonight is the night we've been waiting for a long, long time. The chance to meet in person the man who, through his humorous antics on stage, screen, radio, and television, has lifted our spirits during the times we needed it most. A man who, through his sparkling personality, has endeared himself to women like us all over the world. A man who, from a humble beginning in a log cabin in Illinois, rose to success. A man who had to chop wood to keep warm, and who, as a 9-year-old boy, walked miles through the snow to return a library book. A man who will be remembered in history for his gallant achievements at Valley Forge.
Valley Forge? Ethel can't forget she's a member of the DAR.
Oh, no.
Therefore, it is my great pleasure to bring you our honored guest. So here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. I really haven't prepared a speech, but I can tell you how delighted I am that you ladies got together and formed a Jack Benny fan club. Now, I don't want to keep you girls up too late, for I did not bring a speech, but I did bring my violin, so I would like to play a number for you.
Oh, he's going to play his violin.
You know that I read Mr. Benny's one of America's greatest violinists.
Where did you read that?
It was on that picture he autographed for me.
Girls, I would like to play my theme song for you, Love and Blue.
Girls, members of the Jack Benny Fan Club, Pasadena chapter, an honored guest. Tonight,
Ethel, sit down. You've already said that.
And now for an encore, I will play Swanee River.
Oh, Mr. Benny, would it be all right if when you play it, some of the girls would join you?
Oh, fine. That would be nice.
Get your instruments, girls.
I do. I hope I won't be playing this number too fast for the girls, you know.
Oh, we'll keep up with you.
Good. Now, I think maybe we ought to run over it once, you know, just so that we be together on it. Give me an arpeggio, please.